Nothing seems to excite the Tories quite so much as cutting benefits. This week in Birmingham, the loudest cheers were reserved when it was announced that £10 billion is going to be slashed from the welfare bill. They're going to be targeting people on housing benefit and poorer people with large families. Nice. To listen to Conservative MPs, you'd be forgiven for thinking that everybody on benefits is a no-good shirker. They spend all day at home in their beds with the curtains drawn, watching television, playing video games, and it's all being funded by the taxpayer. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, 93% of new housing benefit claimants are employed. To portray them as undeserving of support and pit them against first-time buyers is intellectually dishonest. As a teenage mother, I had to rely on benefits for a short period of time. And I can tell you this, the whole process is humiliating. You're already made to feel like a scrounger, like a drain on society. And whilst there are some people that take the mick and take advantage of the system, the vast majority of benefit claimants were like me, just people who needed a little bit of help to get back on their feet. Cutting help for the poor is madness. I've been working on this estate and in the surrounding area ever since last year's riots. Many of these young people want nothing more than a job and their independence. Housing benefit isn't a lifestyle option, it's a necessity. Many of these kids are fleeing unsafe situations. They can't just move back home with mummy and daddy like their middle-class counterparts. Why won't this government acknowledge that this is not their fault? What sort of people think that cutting the life support of the very poor is going to help anybody on an estate like this? It shouldn't be the poorest who are bearing the burden of cutting the deficit, especially since it was those in the well-paid financial sector who caused all the problems in the first place. I'm one of the lucky ones. I was able to carve a career out for myself, enabling me to pay back into the system, but that's only because I got help when I needed it. This government are pitting so-called shirkers, those without work, against so-called strivers, those who are just lucky enough to have a job. People don't choose to live a life on benefits. They have it thrust upon them, something that George and Dave wouldn't know the first thing about.